welcome to take 3 of the Urban Chicken Man's How to Build a Waterer. I forgot one of my parts here on the table. Anyway, so what I'm going to show you today is how to build a chicken waterer. This is a very simple design, but what's great about what I'm going to show you and how I'm going to show you to do it is that we're going to be using PVC pipe, which PVC pipe is essentially adult Legos, meaning you take a 4-inch pipe and you can fit something on the end of it, or you can fit something else on the end of it, okay? Or you can fit something else on the end of it. This is not rocket science, people. It's very simple. So you can take what I'm going to show you here on how to assemble a PVC water feeder and get a general idea of how you can customize it for your own coop. So let me go over the parts here real quick. Everything that I got down at Lowe's, I want to say, even with this $30 water pipe heater, which I don't want to hear any bullshit about this. I know you're not supposed to use this inside a water pipe, but we're going to go over it anyway. Let's just cut the comments now. So everything I got here at Lowe's, I think I spent maybe $75 on. I'm not even sure it was that much. But anyway, so the parts here, we're not going to use those elbows anymore. Those are going to go back to Lowe's. I decided against that. I was going to use the elbows as a way to put them in on the pipe and then connect them in with another small piece, okay? So then we could in turn put a bottle here, okay? Because obviously you can't put a bottle, this mounts against the chicken coop, you can't put it right up against, the bottle has width. But I've decided against that. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. If I'm planning on cleaning this thing out once a week anyway, so I don't really need a bottle on the top. This will hold a week's worth of water for them. So anyway, 4-inch PVC pipe, okay? We're going to cut that down. I'll show you how to measure that here in a minute. This, as you can see here, is just a threaded on one side, attaches on the other with an end cap. So what we're going to do with this, sorry, wrong side. What we're going to do with this is stick it on the bottom of the water, and then when I want to clean it, I just open this up, wash it out, put it back on, fill it back up, problem solved. We will have this on the top, just a larger opening. This is a 4-inch with just a, I don't know what they call the top of this, but anyway, what this is for is just so when I pour the water in, it's a little easier to get into the top. This right here, because I might actually change the top, when you see me glue these, we will not be gluing this on top. Just in case I want to change it out one day, I don't have it attached to the pipe and I got to cut it again. You will need a handy pack of PVC glue. Okay, and I'll show you how to use this here in the video a little bit later. And you will need a drill with a larger bit than that on it, okay, some bits, because we're going to attach these little nipples down at the bottom. Now, you'll notice on these they're dirty. They're dirty because we used them before, and the old system, we had a problem with the old system. The girls got a hold of it and tore off a bunch of the insulation, unbeknownst to me. They tore it off in a little corner that I didn't really look in, where the pipe came into the coop. And where they tore it off, it froze a couple winters ago and split. Well, with me being in the Philippines last year and a half or so, I haven't gotten around to building a new water, obviously. So we're going to reuse these nipples from the other one that I had. Before, I had a long pipe that went along and went to a 30-gallon drum. Too extravagant. We don't need anything that crazy. You'll need a saw to cut the PVC with. And, oh, well, let's do the most controversial at the end. I'm going to paint it black, in the hopes that, at least in the wintertime, it might get just a couple degrees warmer and we have to use this water heat pipe, this heat tape a little less. So this right here is going to attach to our PVC pipe, and yes, it's going to run down inside the water. A lot of people will say, oh, don't do that, because if it gets a break in it, you could have electric shock. But this thing is not moving, it's not going anywhere, there's no deterioration from the water on the insulation. So I'm going to put it inside, and what I'll simply do is attach it to a circuit breaker on the coop, and that way if it does for some reason short out, at least the breaker will cut the power. So anyway, oh, and you need some electrical tape, if only to attach this pipe. Because what you'll notice right here, as we're putting together, I'll show you again, this is the temperature sensor that determines how cold the pipe is. If the pipe is cold, this turns on automatically. So this doesn't stay on all the time. It does have a temperature sensor, but it has to be attached well to the pipe. And that's what this is for. So we've got everything we need. We've got our glue, we've got our pieces, our paint, our tape, our heat tape, saw, and drill. And now let's go out, and I'm going to show you just how to measure this, and then we can start assembling here next, okay? So we're out in the coop now, and I'm going to go ahead and unplug the fan so you guys can hear me better. I'm not sure how the audio is going to take on that. Now remember, we've got a lot of buffalo gnats. So as a side on this video, if you have buffalo gnats in your coop, a fan is the best way to do it. Okay, so we put a fan here and it goes across. Can you go and show this? Can you show this? It goes across the two entrances to their nesting boxes, and it keeps the bugs out. So that way they have at least a safe place to sit. Buffalo gnats. Buffalo gnats will, if they bite the chickens too much, cause anaphylactic shock, and you will lose your chickens. Their throats will close up and they will suffocate to death. So it's in your best interest to put yourself a fan in here to keep the gnats off of them. So anyway, back up. Let's go ahead, cut the fan for now. They'll survive for a minute. And as you can see, what we're replacing here is this water here, which I am filling up 2 to 3 times a day. It's getting quite irritating. Not to mention the girls get it dirty, it gets dirt inside of it. Anyway, it's a good solution for a small coop, but it's just too much work for me. So to measure this out, this is going to be attached up here at the pole, the main support for the coop. So we're going to just strap it in. I'll probably just put some wire or maybe even zip ties around it. Oh, you got some kind of weird spider that showed up the last couple of days. I don't want it so tall that it's hard for my 5'2" girlfriend to put water into. So I want it, the top of it about right here, okay? But I also don't want it so short that when we put the end cap on here, I can't unscrew it and get the cap off so I can wash it out. So put the bottom where you want it. It's about right there. That's just the right height for the girls to get to, okay? And we want the top here, so we're going to use God's greatest invention, a Sharpie. We're just going to cut it about right there. Okay? Now the cut doesn't have to be clean, doesn't have to be special, doesn't have to be all that good, because we're going to put a cap over it anyway. So who cares? No one's going to see it. No one's going to see our great mistake. So anyway, we've got it measured. Just remember, the main thing I wanted you to see here was you remember how you're going to use it. Don't just slap it up there and go, okay, I can make something out of this. Because remember, a lot of you will go, okay, well, he cut it a few inches short on this. I did, because I'm going to add an end cap here that will add some length. I'm going to add a cap up here that will add some height, okay? So just remember how you're going to use it and where you need to cut it to. This is not an exact science. This is a chicken coop. If it was an exact science, everyone's chickens would be dead. So don't worry too much. Don't overthink it. And let's go back inside now and start the assembly, okay? Okay, so here we are back, and where we ended the last video there, or the last segment of the video, was measuring where we want to cut this. Now, what I realized is that when I said, okay, I added a few inches to the top cut, what I didn't remember was that I've got 2 caps. So, if we take this, if we say, okay, well, this is going to go over the pipe, this is going to be exposed, okay? This is going to be additional pipe length. So let's take that and just say, oh, okay, right there. And then again, this top section is going to be additional pipe length, because you can see inside where the pipe is going to attach, and it's going to stop there on the rim. So let's add that to it just a little bit. And really what we need to do is about right here. And I don't know where the hell I put. Can you hand me that Sharpie, please? I'm an idiot. I put it back in the drawer. So what we need is we're going to go ahead and put our cut right here. And again, thank you. Doesn't have to be perfect, to be exact. Because again, when this is done, this is going to go over the top and you're not going to see how terrible of a job I did. So here we are. Let's give it a little cut. Go real nice and slow with the saw at first. Get yourself an edge made. Now, one technique for getting through PVC, and really getting through anything, I guess, is as you get deep in, it's going to grab more and more of the side as it goes down in the material. So you're going to get more and more resistance. Rather than yanking on it and potentially hitting something like breaking my favorite coffee mug, start moving around the edge. See, so see how it's starting to catch? So we'll move it to the next one. babe, can you grab the camera real quick and give them a close-up? So you can see what I'm doing here is just moving around the edge.
Just move forward.
Did you stop it or no? No, I said don't stop it. Yeah. That's good. Just bring it in. Okay. And I'm going to say that you better have a vacuum cleaner handy because otherwise your wife's going to kill you. So it starts to catch. And then we start on the next round. Now we're not quite through the pipe, so I'll have to go around it one more time and then clean it up with a knife, but you get the idea. So again, just move it around as you saw. Okay. Now, as you get around, start noticing where your cut's at and make sure that you're lining up. Because my biggest problem when I did this was that I would get very uneven. I've got a little more practice with it now. So we're pretty close to being lined up. See, even with that, we're still a little off. So it's okay, we can clean that up. Come in here, connect the two lines. Well, this looks like I really practiced a lot, doesn't it? There we go. And then once you get through, yeah, maybe. There we go. Ta-da! Now we have a piece of 4-inch PVC that we can use later on if we need other little connectors or fillers or if we change this around or what have you. So let's go ahead and stop this real quick. We're going to vacuum up to get this dust up before my cat distributes this everywhere. And then we'll come back and I'll start showing you the assembly. Okay? Okay, so here we are. We've cleaned up, except for a section that I've missed. And go ahead and clean up some of this PVC. So you're going to clean the ends. Just make sure there's no grease and dirt on it, that kind of thing. And maybe give yourself a little wipe if, like me, you've gained the old COVID-19 and now you sweat a lot more than you used to. So go ahead and we're going to attach this end, okay, with the screw cap down on this end here. Okay, now this is also the end where we're going to be putting the nipples at. So we'll work on that here in a minute. To use the cement PVC, or the PVC cement, sorry, I said that wrong. You've got a primer and you've got the cement. It's all in the kit. It's very easy to use. You simply figure out how to open the fucking thing. Oh, it won't open. I should have opened these before I started the video. Let's see if the other one will. Ah, geez, no. Okay, let's try this then. We don't edit around here. Well, I mean, we do extra takes, but we don't edit. We're going to get these open one way or another. Grab yourself the old pipe wrench. Let's see if this will work for us. Boom. Another problem solved with science. Maybe, I don't know, whatever you call it. There we go. Good. Okay. So, give ourselves a little bit of purple primer. Oops, sorry. It's very simple. You're going to swab the connecting parts, and you're going to swab the outside of the connection with a primer. Then you're going to swab it with the orange cement, and then you're going to put them together and hold them for 30 seconds. And yes, before you worry, this stuff is rated for water usage. So we should be fine. So get your little ball out. Show you how I can show you this. See how I can show you this here. Okay, just swab the inside. Don't be crazy. That's actually a little too thick, so we're going to thin it out a bit. Okay, whew. Boy, you want to talk about getting high. Okay. Maybe this is why hippies have chicken coops. Huh. We're going to give a little bit of the orange. Ooh, that's thick. Whew. I want to do this in a well-ventilated area. Okay. So we got the primer on it. You can see here, this is going on thick. You can already kind of feel it thickening up on us with contact with the primer. Okay. Okay. So now we've got that. And now we simply push them together. And the idea that they will never, ever come apart. Now, trick. Don't slam it, just drop it. Let it seat itself. You do that, you don't have to hold it for 30 seconds. It'll hold on its own. Trust me on that one. So, we've got that done now. We can put this away for a bit. Don't make a mistake of putting it on the threads. Remember, we want this to come off at some point in time. So, we'll just leave this off for now. Oh yeah, I forgot to include you need coffee. There we go. Let that set itself up. Maybe one more little tap. When you tap it, make sure that you do it flat. You don't want it uneven, okay? So make sure it goes nice and flat right on the floor. Now, I'm gonna take this end here. I'm gonna match up our drill bits. That bit is not big enough. Ugh, okay. I'm gonna have to go to the basement. I didn't look at that bit before I got it. I'm gonna go to the basement real quick, and I'm gonna find ourselves a bigger bit, and we're gonna come back and work on putting those nipples in there so the girls can get a drink. Okay. So I didn't have a drill bit that was big enough, so we're gonna use this as a way to just route it out. Now, so let's take a look here. Sorry, I almost messed that up. We're putting them on this end, remember? So, girls can deal with some height. So let's put her right up here in the top. Oh, sorry, wrong drill bit. Don't you love how much preparation goes into this video? Let's see here. You guys realize I'm just filming my hobbies, right? Okay, so let's start here. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Nice and straight, too. Okay, now that's going to be too small of a hole, but this, remember, you don't want it the whole size. You want it just, that might be too small too. Let's see how this works. Laundry's done, babe. See if that's even going to work for us. It is not need to be big enough. Fuck. Okay, well, let's try another take. So what we found in the last video, we're gonna cut what got me to this point, okay? Because I got a phone call in the middle of it. What I'm gonna do is give you a quick overview of how we got to the point where this can go in. I did find a larger drill bit, but it still wasn't big enough for this to fit in here and still catch. Before we go any further, I want to tell you what I'm trying to show you here, and I need to explain this. I'm trying to show you here, don't go with the bit you think will fit. Go with the bit that you think may not fit, just a little too small. Because you need to have extra material there for these teeth, essentially, the screw threads to catch on. And you got to remember, you can always remove more material. You can never add more material. So once you route this hole out, if it's too big, you're done. So what I've been doing is slowly working my way up of, okay, will this fit? Nah, okay, will this fit? Whatever. And what I found is that I don't have a drill bit the right size for these to fit. But I do have screwdrivers that are the right size for this to fit. So what I've done is I've gone from the drill bit to a screwdriver here to the next screwdriver up, and I'm slowly making the hole bigger, and what I'm finding is that it works. Now, this little guy right here is a little bit of a problem because there's not much of a handle. But you get the idea. So you see, as I route this out, we're getting material off, right? So we're making the hole bigger. Okay? And I've already tested this, and this is just the right size for this to fit. Okay. That just gets rid of some of the material, so my friction's a little less when I'm trying to get this through. So you put downward pressure on this while you turn it. Careful to keep it straight. That's the hard part. Okay. See, this is my mad face. Oh man, my sweat towel's over there. Okay, so again, when we get done with this, I'm just gonna use this little drill bit here to run along the insides, okay? And that'll just help clean it out a bit. Just get little flakes out so they don't get clogged up in the valve, whatnot. Clean out your hole there. Okay. And then we test. And that will go in beautifully. Now, we're not going to screw this in all the way. What I want to do now is get an idea of where we're going to put the next ones. Don't put them so far back. A lot of people want to put them equidistant, okay? So they want one on the left, one on the right, nice and even, like you cut the pipe in fourths. The problem is, though, you're mounting this up against chicken coop, and this has width. So if you put it right there at the, let's say the 90 cut. You know what I mean. Like if you cut this in fourths, this will be up against, and you'll have pressure. This will be up against the coop, you'll have pressure. So, but you want them far enough apart, the chickens get in there. So we'll put another one about right here. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, okay? It's about that far, about that far. We'll put another one about right there. So we're not all the way 90 degrees away. Gives plenty of room for our chickens to work and drink and hopefully not kill each other, as chickens are wont to do. So let's do this now. As easy as that within, I really, really wish I had a drill bit that was the right size. Anyway, so let's route this out now. I'm going to show you this process and then we'll fast forward to the next one so you can kind of get an idea of how this works. So you see how it routes out, right? Grout, grout, grout. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Constantly scraping. Maybe I should name this video, How to Make a Chicken Water in 3 times longer than it's supposed to fucking take you. Or how to be completely unprepared for a video you've been wanting to make for over a week. That'd be a good video. That'd be a good title. What do you think? Huh? I'm talking to you. Mia. She's on her phone, folks. She's petting the cat. She doesn't care what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh. We're getting into the second pipe now. So that's what's going on here. Clean it out every once in a while. It'll make it a little easier on you. Luckily, PVC is a fairly soft material to work with. So if you were doing this with metal, you'd be screwed. Just give up. Better have the right tools. PVC is fairly forgiving for ignorant people like me. There we go. That's the first. Now let's put the second. This is the bigger of the two, so that's why we don't start with it. You can hear it in there scraping. Kind of neat. Oh yeah, I should have taken this out. You don't want to leave these out here. We'll put those in last because again, it starts rolling, snaps off. Now we got a bigger problem on our hands. I should have taken that out a minute ago. Okay, we're through with this. If we can get it out of there. Should have cleaned that hole out with one of those during one of those turns. Huh? Baby, I always need help from you. Had to get my little rag here so I can better grip. Whew, that is not coming out the way I want it to. As I told my daughter one day when I was an idiot and wasn't thinking and she was firing her weapon, I was taking her to the range and teaching her how to shoot. You're not making love to it, just get it. There we go. Okay. Try our screw in here. Yep, perfect. Okay, so that's good. And now our third one. Easy peasy, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and fast forward on this one because you know the process. And then we're gonna come back and finish her up, so. Okay, so here we are. We're back. We can put our end cap down here. Now keep in mind, if you're going to get this watertight enough, or tight enough to put water in it, you're going to need a wrench to get it back off. An adjustable wrench like this is perfect. So you can go nice and large with it if you need to. Get it around this little square end here. This one actually is a little too small. I think here. Just right. Sorry, just right. Okay, and that'll help you get it back off later for whenever you need to clean. If you're, well, let's go ahead and just put these in here before we talk about all that. Let's put this guy in here. Give it plenty of downward pressure so it grabs the plastic as it goes in. Okay, you want to run threads because we didn't tap these holes. They're not threaded. And once you get down to the bottom, do not over tighten. If this will not go further down and you continue to screw, you are just ripping all the walls away from that inside thread and it will not be waterproof or watertight. So once it hits the base of the PVC, stop threading it. It's just going to spin in place is what I'm telling you. That's what I'm trying to get through anyway. Sometimes I don't use the right words. There we go. Now there she is. And now, here's the next one. Last one. Oh, that's not good. Let's put this up top here. Okay, and now she's done. So here what we have our chicken water, and those are not perfectly equidistant from each other, and that's going to bother me the rest of my life. But right now it works. So what's nice about these little nipples is, see the yellow? When the girls get on there and they push, oh, that one might have to be replaced. Yeah, we're going to replace that one. I think that nipple busted. Anyway, when they push in these little nipples, it drops water in the cup. And of course, once they get their water, they're done pushing, so it saves water. And we're going to go ahead and take this out here in a minute as soon as I replace this one here. You don't have to watch that. You know how it works. And then I'll show you how to take it outside and mount it. You know what? I don't think we're going to paint it black anymore. Oh, no. This is what we're doing next. I don't know why I didn't think of that. We're going to drop our little heater in it. I forgot all about this thing until I started thinking about the black tape, or the black paint. So, on your little heat tape here, okay, this is going to go down inside the pipe. Again, I know, if it gets a break in the insulation, it can electrify the water. Obviously not a good thing and something we want to avoid. But I'm going to be plugging this into a circuit breaker out there. So if that does happen, it will cut itself off and not hurt our chickens. But again, keep in mind, the only way this is going to get a break in the insulation is something eats through it, deteriorates it, or destroys it. It's going to be protected inside a PVC pipe. I don't see that as highly likely. And we'll put a little calendar reminder in ourselves to, if I'm not here in the country at the time, to have somebody come out here, pull it out of the tube, and just inspect it for breaks and cracks in the insulation, at least once a year, so we can catch it if something does happen. But anyway, so we're going to take this. We're simply going to drop it in our tube. It's going to take a little bit to kind of spread out here, but we'll just take it. We're going to drop it in our tube. This is what heats up when it decides to turn itself on, okay? So we drop it down in there. This should keep our water above freezing. It's not going to hurt the girls. It doesn't give off any chemicals or whatnot while it's in water. The problem we have, though, is we got to get it down to the bottom. Otherwise, it's not going to do you any good. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, we could just hope it works, which is usually how I start things. Let's see if we... I think the dryer's done, babe. It wants to curl up in there though. That's why it's sitting here right now, not wanting to go down. So what do? If it wants to curl up on the end, then we can put something to stiffen it up. Hey Mia, can you do me a favor? Can you grab me that roll of duct tape? Should be right there. I don't see it though. We can use electrical tape. Can you hand me the blue bag of tools, please? I'll just need that. Thank you. Nah, I'm good. I don't see it in there, unless you see it. Okay, so we're gonna take this baling wire. Sorry, it was around the tripod. We're gonna take some of this baling wire here that I was gonna show you in the next scene on how to attach this thing. And we're gonna use this to stiffen up the end of this down here, okay? So we're gonna take it. Again, nothing we have here is reactive with, well, yeah, the baling wire will rust a bit, but that's not gonna hurt the girls. We're just gonna wrap it around. That way we don't have to put tape down there, and we don't have to put some other chemical in there and all that stuff, so. It's an old trick I used to use when I was running cable when I used to own Computer 21. Just wrap it around it, and that will stiffen it up enough to get it down the pipe. Since this is the primary area where it wants to curl, okay? So we've got that wrapped up. See how it keeps it nice and somewhat straight, okay? Take this, and now we'll feed it down the pipe. You know, people can get on to me for not being prepared for videos, but these are the things that you're going to run into. And you're going to want to make sure that you do them right. So, at least you get an idea of what to watch out for. Because everywhere it's screwing up for me is where it's going to screw up for you. Now, to get an idea of how much tape needs to go down in here, how much of this heat tape needs to go in, I'm going to get an idea just by measuring here, and we go to about there. So I know if this has gone in without any bindings, then we've used the right amount. It's gone down to the bottom. That's the important part. It's gone down to the bottom. So here we are. Now I'm going to keep going just because I don't need all this. Well, yeah, I guess that's okay. Sorry, we've got a bunch of mass here that we ordered in the way. Now here's the big thing. Jesus, I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. We're going to put that back down in a minute. I forgot to put this on top. So we're going to use this just, again, as a way to just spill less water when we're taking care of this. Okay. So we tapped it. Now we'll thread her again. And now that she's down at the bottom, and now our electrical tape comes into play, okay? I didn't have anything with that multicolored stuff. We were using it for projects, not my first take, not my first request, first desire here, but it'll work. So we're going to take this nice and easy, just like it says in the picture. So if you look at the picture, you look at the instructions, it shows you where to tape it to keep this nice and tight against the pipe. Because again, this little black thing is what measures the temperature of the pipe in order to decide if it's time to turn on the water, or turn on the heat. Bebe, can I borrow you a second, please? I need your love and attention, and mostly your hands. So we're going to put a little tape right here. We're going to put a little tape right here. So I need you to just kind of hold it for me, please, and thank you. I need you to let it up though. I gotta get underneath it. There we go. I got this side. Five turns should be sufficient. Make sure you go back over, if you're going up like I am, okay, make sure you go back over where you started the tape. Just give a little more strength there so that tape doesn't just come undone. Okay? So, we've got nice and tight. And one thing I'm going to tell you as well is that wherever I stop the tape, I want it in a point where I can see when I go outside. So if it starts to unravel back behind here, I will catch it before it completely unravels. Okay? So I can see where the tape starts, or let's say it ends. Okay? Now, move this down a bit. Okay, hold that for me, please. Thank you. And we're going to tape it up here about 3 inches up. At least that's where we started. Thank you, baby. I got it.
It's his fault, my
What? What's wrong?
Every time I go back.
Oh, she's not happy.
Every time I leave.
She is a very demanding cat for being so rude to us all the time. Okay. Ta-da! Now we have it nice and flush, nice and against, and it's being held in place. See? So when we go out, we can plug that into power, and we're good to go. And it's on the side too. Again, always remember how you're going to mount this. So if this is facing out, okay, this is the outer edge of the coop. You don't want this temperature gauge on the back. It's got to go up against the wall. So you want to make sure you put it in a position where it's not pressed up against the wall and now things don't fit flush. So anyway, we are at the point now where we're going to go ahead and test the water outside and make sure it's watertight. And then we're going to mount it in the coop. So if you want to see how to use the baling wire and the hoops you make and all that stuff, stick around. We're going out here in a second.
So I'm assuming you may help.
I do need your help, baby.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we're outside now. We're going to test this. One thing I found, I did do a quick test. You can see the water here. And I found that the bottom cap wasn't tight enough. So one thing I forgot to tell you is that if you're trying to install the bottom cap into this and it doesn't get tight enough, you just can't get any further, put a little bit of olive oil on it. That'll work it right in there, and you can tighten it up all the way, and that'll make it waterproof. If you can get it tight enough. The olive oil won't make it waterproof, but you can get it tight enough. So we're gonna run a little bit of water in here. We don't have to fill it up all the way. And you can see no leaks. So that's good. So now we're going to take it over to the coop. Might as well leave the water in it. We're going to take it over to the coop, use our baling wire and our wire cutters here to go ahead and mount it in the coop. And the girl's going to start drinking. And I can stop filling up their damn water twice a day. Which would be nice for me. So, we're not going to mount it this low. Go ahead and find a spot to set up, babe, so you can see it. I'm going to need your help with this. I'm going to show you a little trick. Not really a trick, I guess. Just common sense. That's okay. They can still hear me. So whenever we're ready here, okay. So I'm going to show you here on the, is this in right? Okay. This baling wire here, what I do is I pre-cut it. I want it to go around. I'm going to make these little loops that go around the pipe, are nice and U-shaped, go around the pipe. She'll hold the pipe up for me, put the wire through, and then I'll tie it from the other side, okay? And then I'll tie it into the chicken mesh that we have here and around the pole. So we're going to go ahead and make some pieces here that we know are big enough to go around. Okay. Keep a hold of your wire cutter, you might need them. So we'll take these, put them all together, and make them into a nice little, oh, one of these are way too short. Yeah, I think it's gonna be too short. Okay, we might have to replace that. Anyway, so make them in a nice little kind of semi-U shape, straighten out the ends, and then we'll start putting this in. Okay, Sunshine, I need you to hold this. Probably easiest just to put your foot under it, right?
On that side?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we do have a good view of this, right?
Wait.
Let's double check the camera position. Do we need to be closer? I'm not editing out any of this shit, by the way. You guys just have to live with it.
Just enough in your height.
Okay, perfect. So just get a good view of this. I don't need to be on camera anyway. I have a face for radio. So put your foot underneath that there. Hold that up. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start with a couple of these. So see what we're doing here? Okay, you got to hold it straight. You got to hold it straight.
What is straight?
Yeah, meaning straight. Okay. Line it up with the pole. See that?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. It's going around the pole. Okay, so we got that. We got one right here. We got one right here. Okay. And if these don't hold well enough because of the weight, I think they're going to be fine. But if they don't for some reason, we can put in something bigger. This is not going to be long enough. Okay, I'm going to leave these to you as we get them done. Okay. Oh, I'll do this one first. See? So now we just tie them in the back. As tight as we, oh, that's not, that needs to go through a different hoop. Did you put that through there?
You did.
Oh. Well, sounds better if you did it. Yeah, it needs to be right through there. So if you would take that, put it right through the slow. There you go. Thank you. That explains it. If it needs to hang on that, that's fine. Okay. Now. Okay, can you go ahead and let it down. That's gonna hold, right? Yeah, that'll hold. We won't have
I
the,
think it's one more better.
yeah, we're going to. Go ahead and put one down here for me.
Where?
Anywhere, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine down there. But all the way in. Yeah, there you go. Down one over. Just put this one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Ah, shit, it's not long enough.
Want another one?
Yeah, let's pull that one out. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Okay, she's holding. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Now, we're almost done. I just gotta plug the power into it. Okay, not that we need it right now, but I don't want to forget about it for next time. And we don't really have power for it now that I look at it, not for an extension cord. I'll figure that out later. Now, here's the big thing. And you want to go ahead and bring the camera in here. You want to show them that it works. What it is. Oh. Okay. So what we want to do, take one down here and get a couple of them acclimated. Push on the nipple, bring it in. Okay. Let them see what's in there. Oh, she doesn't want to see what's in there. If they won't take to it right away, she won't try it. I don't think she's going to. She doesn't seem thirsty. Just put the water in the cup so they can look for it later. Okay? Don't worry, they'll take to hitting the nipples. That won't be a problem. They'll get their own water out of that. But just fill it up with water and let them see that there's water in there so the next time they try and get water, they know where it's at. Anyway, that's it. So I'm gonna have a little, for those of you who asked about the buffalo gnats, I'm gonna have a little link on the end of this video so you can go watch the buffalo gnat video if you want to see how to take care of them. And I'm working on a better solution. Actually, I tried something out a few days ago, and if it works well, then I'm gonna make a video about it. Anyway, scan the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner. Feel free to ask any questions. And other than that, I guess that's it. Happy chicken farming. Is that gonna be my new catchphrase? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't think it should be. Okay, see y'all later.